up, everybody? Happy Wednesday afternoon to you. Unfortunately, not as happy as it was about 22 minutes ago. Alanna, Rizzo, Clint, Pasillas with you here on Dodgers territory. Thanks so much for being with us, guys. We always appreciate you. Like, subscribe, do all of the things, not only on YouTube, but also wherever you get your podcast. Clint, it was looking so good. This Dodgers team looked like they were going to get the sweep in Cleveland, right, after a rough series against the Metropolitans. And they did a really good job up until Tanner Scott got kind of unlucky. Some of those balls weren't even hit that hard. That little error on Muncy, which I think it was like a ground goblin got up and grabbed Muncy. Your overall assessment of how this series went down?
Listen, we could try to feign some positivity in this. Like you said, Dodgers take the series. They go 3-3 on the road trip. That's what you want to see. You want to you want to split the series on the road. That said, like, they had this game in the bag. Could have been Kershaw's first win of the year. And the bugaboos that have been kind of biting the Dodgers in the behind this season, the final innings, the final outs, final few outs, Tanner Scott struggles once again. And it's just a big, I don't know if it's a shock, because I'm not shocked at this point. He's been real bad. We'll get into more of those numbers. Muncy coming in cold, hadn't played until third inning, something, or until the sixth inning, seventh inning, when he pinch hit and flew out. Yeah, just a tough game. Like, I would rather have seen stronger defense in that one towards the end. Maybe not have Muncy come in, but I don't know. I don't want to nitpick and say what I would do different. I think Dave pulled the right levers here. At some point, people just got to get the job done. And unfortunately, Tanner Scott and Alex Vesia did not get the job done.
No, Alex Vesia has looked a little rattled, right? But going back to Tanner Scott for just a second, I want to say his ERA is just a tick below 5. I want to say Tanner Scott after that outing is 4.86. That's rough. That's not exactly what you expect from your guy. And Oral Hershiser and Joe Davis in the booth were talking about how I want to say it's like blown 5 of his last 9 save opportunities or something like that. You can check me on that, stat people out there in our chat. Am I correct in saying that Tanner Scott has blown 5 of his last 9 save opportunities? I think he's given up like 9 runs in that time, or something like 7 runs, or something.
Definitely over his last 6 outings. He's given up 9 earned runs now, over 4 2/3 innings. 4 earned put on the ledger today. 2 of those inherited runners for Alex Vesia. What's funny is he gives up the runs in bulk. Then he had a clean inning. This has been the last 6. It's runs, it's clean, it's runs, it's clean, and now it's runs again. So his next outing should be clean if all goes well there. But yeah, Alex Vesia did not help there. 3-run homer, 2 inherited runners score. I would say this, some people we were arguing for a while too. It's like, bullpen usage, these guys are worn out. These 2 dudes were not overworked. My buddy Jacob Brownson. I would say Brownstone for some reason, even though I don't live on the East Coast. But these dudes, both of those guys had they had a couple days off there, or they had a day off. They were not overworked anymore. Tanner Scott and Alex Vesia in particular, not overworked anymore. So it's not that. It's just at some point you gotta get the job done, and they did not today, and the Dodgers lose a heartbreaker for sure.
So now I'm just looking at the box score and everything going over here. So Tanner Scott 4.62. That's what he's at right now. Alex Vesia 3.38, which isn't terrible, but he looked rattled and giving up that home run.
I don't think he was expecting to have to come in there.
No, I'm sure he wasn't. I'm sure he wasn't. But obviously, Kershaw gives you 5 innings, 6 hits, 1 earned run. Kershaw pitched good. This is not on Kershaw. Let's talk Francisco Diaz with the super chat. We appreciate that so much. $9.99 super chat. Unlucky or not, Scott hasn't been good for a few weeks now and shouldn't have been sent out for the 8th. Gut punch of a loss. And here comes the red hot Yankees. Going to have to fight this weekend. At least we are at home. And by the way, that is the same team we bested in the World Series, lest we forget just a couple of months ago. Richie Flores, what's up? 199 from our boy. Scott was fantastic. Sincerely, the 9-win Rockies. I'm sure the Rockies would like to have the services of Tanner Scott. That is Richie Flores talking about the positivity in terms of, let's look at the silver lining. Silver lining, Will Smith.
Yeah, there's some silver linings all around. Will Smith, so good. Let's be positive here. Smitty's good. Freddie continues to be good. Teoscar Hernandez, amazing at baseball as well. Love that dude in every way. And Clayton Kershaw also had himself his best outing of the 3 appearances he's had this year. Which one of those guys you want to focus on first? You want to go over some Smitty numbers?
On Big Willie style. Yeah, so he's 2 for 4 today, Clint, coming into or with this game. He was 338 average on the year, and 975 OPS. But coming into this game today, this was prior to the 2-for-4 day today, Big Willie style, in his last 14 games. So you figure over the last course of 2 weeks or whatever, a 390 average, 4 extra base hits, including 2 long balls, 4 Ks. That's not bad. 16 RBI. I think what they're doing is a really good job of talking about that, load management that we talk so much about in the NBA. I think they're doing a good job with making sure, and that's a huge reason they got Dalton Rushing, right? That they called him up, is to be able to let Will Smith rest. And then when he is out there, you can see what he can do offensively. And I think that's a really good balance of what they're doing with him.
Yeah. Yeah. This is something I've been wanting for a while. I've been complaining about, bitching about the last couple of years. It's been painfully apparent that, like most catchers, Will Smith breaks down over the course of the year, especially when you're running out there trying to play in 130 some odd games. You can't do that. It's just not good for the body. The human body is not supposed to be squatting down for 9 innings and also trying to produce on offense and run and all this kind of stuff. So it's good that the Dodgers decided to make the move with Austin Barnes. Sucks to lose Barnesy, but like you said, to have that offense, another offensive weapon or potential offensive weapon with Dalton Rushing to ease the burden of not having Willie in the lineup day in and day out. You're seeing the benefits now as he continues to be hot in that lineup. It continues to be incredible with runners in scoring position, by the way. We got Brandon Green with the super chat. Should have just let Kike pitch. Let Kike pitch in the 8th inning. Oh God, that's pretty good. I mean, Kike, Miguel Rojas doing his impressions or whatever definitely would have been better than Tanner Scott. I think I would take I might be able to get it up to about 50 right now. The shoulder's barking, and I'm not at all in the best shape of my life. So the fastball would not play very well. But yeah, I could hook a couple benders in there.
I'm gonna go with absolutely not. I would like to see Tanner Scott. I would like to see anybody over you pitching any day of the week.
Thanks for the encouragement.
Kike had some pretty good defensive plays there. I mean, some good base running. That slide was pretty good. I don't know if it was because he was on that skeleton thing in the clubhouse. I don't know if you saw John Suhu's photo of that. But that was pretty funny. There was some good defense behind the pitching staff today. A little questionable in terms of, I can't remember who was at the plate when I said, look, that there was nobody there. Hit them where they ain't in the 9th inning or 8th inning rather for the Cleveland Guardians. Anyway, I don't know. Tommy Edman, let's talk about him. We were so glad when he came off of the IL, but he has struggled since coming off of the shelf, Clint. 4 for 30. You can do the math. I'll do it for you. It's a 133 average.
Yeah, it's been a struggle bus. Straight up, both sides of the plate as well. We always hear he's real good against lefties because that's his natural swing from the right-handed side of the plate. He put in a lot of work in the offseason to get the lefty swing dialed in, but he said recently he's kind of reverted to some bad habits, and we're seeing them right now. And just, I don't know if there's still something barking with that ankle that's not allowing him to kind of, as D-Train would say, get that foot down, whatever it is, but he doesn't look very comfortable at the plate. He'll eventually figure it out. I think he's earned a little bit of grace from the hot start to the season, but it's been a little bit of a black hole in the lineup for the Dodgers, and right now can ill afford to have that apparently when you have the bullpen that they have and Tanner Scott going out there and blowing a bunch of games and just being rough. I already see the chat still going. Chat really, really not happy with Tanner Scott. They're pissed at Tanner Scott. Yeah. Let's take a break for a second. We'll come back, talk more Tanner Scott. I do want to talk more Clayton Edward Kershaw, but first we're going to hear from our friends at Foul Territory.
FT fam, you might have a boring, old, crusty, unpretty razor, and it might be expensive. So, AJ, should they consider another option?
Look how cool this is. Look at the color scheme. Look at it. Little sheath to hide the blades when you travel. Works great. I've been using this for a couple weeks now with Harry's. Clean, no bumps, no cuts. Works great. And you know the best part? It's a great price, especially if you use the Foul Territory code, Scott.
That's right. Harrys.com/foul. Guess what? You can also get yourself a no-risk trial. So if you don't like your shave, no worries. It's on Harry's. They're not worried about it. Get the edge on your shave with Harry's. Normally, the trial set is $10. But right now, you can get it for just $6 at harrys.com/foul. Use the exclusive link, harrys.com/foul, for a $6 trial set.
Big thank you for you guys supporting the people that support us here and the entire Foul Territory Network. All right, Riz, you want to talk more Tanner Scott, or we want to be positive with Clayton Kershaw?
No,
first?
I mean, we know that Tanner Scott had a crappy outing. It is what it is, right? He's got to figure it out. He's got to figure it out with Evan Phillips gone, with Blake Trinan gone, with Alex Vesia kind of struggling. Anthony Bonda hasn't been the best either. He's got to figure it out, right? I mean, there's nothing we can do talking about it here on the show. We know that he sucked. I'm sure nobody feels worse than Tanner Scott does. He's got to figure it out. They paid him $22 million coming into the season. I think it was something astronomical, in my opinion, for a reliever. But remember how excited we were to get him? Like, we've got to figure out how to get him back to that spot. And I'm sure that obviously Bardo will do that in the bullpen, and obviously Mark Pryor will figure that out as well. Let's talk about Clayton Kershaw a little bit. Picked up 3 more Ks today, so he is en route, Clint, to 3,000 strikeouts over the course of his Hall of Fame career. He remains 26 away. He's obviously going to get that. But again, this is not the same swing and miss that Kershaw used to be. He wasn't always, he's not a massive swing and miss pitcher. I mean, this is a guy that's pitched to contact, but he knows exactly how to get the ground ball out. He obviously has that devastating curve, the slider. But Kershaw is still a smart pitcher and knows how to pitch. Strikeouts have been, as you mentioned in our rundown, so eloquently stated, they've been at a premium. So it's going to be a little bit more work for Kershaw to get 26 more than it used to be at the beginning of his career. But I don't know, maybe I'm just a Kershaw apologist. I just have the utmost amount of faith in him when he takes the ball every 5th day. At least he's going to be competitive.
Yeah. And it was nice that, I know heading into this game, we were worried once again about weather and a potential short start for Clayton. But what I appreciate out of CK here, out of 22, is that he knows this is a team that does need some innings, even with the day off tomorrow. A little bit ago, we talked about overworked bullpen, and that's been a big narrative for this team over the first couple of months of the season. So Kershaw wants to go out there, stay in as long as he can, does give the team 5 innings. Looked a little, I wouldn't say lost, just struggled a bit in that first inning. 2 hits, 2 walks in that first inning allows the run, but locked in after that. 4 total hits over the next 4. Maybe one of them, Mookie can make that play at shortstop. It was a bit of a rope show, but best start of the 3 for Clayton. And I'll just say this: it took a little while for the old guy to warm up in a cool Cleveland day, but it gave the team. He
only gave up 1 run in 5 innings, right?
Exactly.
So that's good on. I mean, they were wearing out that left field corner. I mean, every single ball kept going to the left field corner. But you know what? He only gave up 1 run, and you'll take that any day of the week. Again, 26 Ks away from 3,000. This guy is still, to me, a privilege to watch every single day. And let's not forget, you guys, the Dodgers still hold, even with today's loss, even though it was a stupid comeback, win for the Cleveland Guardians to not get swept out of their own building. The Dodgers are still 1.5 games ahead of the San Diego Padres, and the Padres have won 3 games straight, but they're 1.5 games out. The Giants lost today, I believe. They played the Marlins starting tomorrow. So,
okay.
They played 2. So they're 3 games out. Diamondbacks were kind of falling a bit. Diamondbacks are 6.5 out, and then Colorado should just get optioned to the minor leagues.
It's
funny. So the Dodgers are still a game and a half out.
Yeah, they feel like the best worst team in baseball right now. Maybe it's because we're just watching them day in, day out. Of course we know every time this team heads into town to face another team, all the media is like, oh, here comes the powerhouse Dodgers and whatever. Yeah, they got over $100 million in talent on the injured list right now, which is very, very. That's the only reason. Like, that's one of the big things that makes the Dodgers.
That's why people hate us.
Yeah,
they hate us because they ain't us. Number one, they hate us because we have a bigger payroll than 15 teams on our AL. But whatever.
Yeah, you pay for depth, and that's what the Dodgers do very, very well. And things, as we said on Sunday's show, it's like things will get better with time. You have a lot of help coming back at some point. I will go help Brusdar Graterol in any way he can to get back and being healthy. Emmett Sheehan will become an option for this team as well. It's just about patience right now. What's that?
Emmett, second half of the season.
Second half of the season, same. Shohei Ohtani is eventually going to be in that starting rotation in some way, shape, or form sometime after the All-Star break. So it's just about, taking these hits as they come, and
you just got to maintain, guys. You just got to maintain. I feel like if you can play around 500 ball or right over the 500 mark, which they're doing that. I mean, they're 34-22. Okay. So they're way over that 500 mark, but if you can just hold serve until you get to the All-Star break, right? Yeah. And then you add the complementary pieces that you needed wherever the biggest holes are at the time. And then hopefully you get Glasnow, Snell, Sheehan, Shohei, all these people back.
That much said, I do want to hit this super chat from 300GJW saying not much you can do about a guy not performing, making $22 million in Scott, and frustrated by another misplay for Muncy. Now, I was going to save this for like a different show because we are going to be live again Thursday at our normal time, 12 o'clock Pacific time, 3 o'clock Eastern. But I do wonder if we're hitting a point in the season where like maybe Tanner Scott should take a step back from that ninth inning for a little bit. Dave kind of ease him back into getting some confidence as we've seen him do before.
Out there? Who's our closer then?
Ben Kasparius. Honestly, Ben Kasparius has ice water running through his fucking veins. He has been so dang good for this team. I would love to, but then you don't have any other leverage right-handers later or earlier in the game. So it's a very, very tough situation. I do wonder if there is maybe a need to try to find some sort of relief help on the
I don't know. I think everyone and their mother's looking for relief pitching right now. And I think the Dodgers know that they can kind of hold serve until they get some of their own pieces back and not have to give anything up for what they're getting back. Usually the way that this team is in terms of depth, you get a better acquisition within your own system than you could out there on the trade block, or if anybody happens to be a free agency, Honeywell, that could use a job. So, I'm thinking you just kind of just wait it out and see what happens. But losing Trinan hurts, losing Kirby Yates losing, Trinan hurts a lot. Evan Phillips hurts a lot. All of these things hurt. But I'm not willing to throw in the towel yet. We're still in first place.
I was gonna say on this comment from 300GJW, he did pitch those innings, but also more so. I think what I'm meaning with Tanner Scott is with Tanner Scott, it's more so keeping him out of leverage for just a little bit, and with Max Muncy too. This was the other thing I really wanted to talk about. I think Muncy dropped a long dong yesterday in the Dodgers win over Cleveland or whatever, but you're still seeing some like real big shows of frustration out of Max Muncy. And I do wonder if it would benefit him a good amount just to kind of take a breather. Tell him, look, you're going to just sit on the bench. Don't worry about baseball for the next 3 days. We've seen him do it in the past with some guys. But
if you're a competitor though, I think to me, knowing Muncy's competitive spirit, that would make it worse.
Yeah. I could see that, and that's the only thing I think of as well when it comes to Max Muncy. It's like he'll just be out there being frustrated that he's not playing, and that he's not going to get better unless he's in there. But it's also just been like a constant uphill battle for Muncy, both offensively and defensively. And the defense is the one that's I don't know if it's arguably becoming the bigger problem. Like Muncy, the season all told, over the last I think month, he's been perfectly fine. He's been a regular Max Muncy, OPS around 800 or whatever. But the defense is the thing that's really putting the team in this tough position where, setting up Tanner Scott for failure.
For sure. You got to play clean baseball. It's back to that fundamental stuff, right? And there's not a manager on this planet or a coach on this planet that will get mad at you if you make a physical error. It's more if you make the mental errors. And they had kind of a couple of those today. It's like if you're making the effort and you do it physically and you miss something. But I mean, Pa has slipped and Muncy slipped. I'm not making excuses. I do wonder if the grass was a little dewy. If the warning track was a little wet, I don't know. I am not saying it was, but I know it was supposed to rain in Cleveland. Maybe whatever. I'm just, maybe there was a sniper that took them both down.
I don't know. Sniper. I synced him. Oscar says Tanner Scott is not the answer, and well, they paid him a lot of money to do something for this team right now. So he's the answer for now, and we know Dave. We know Dave's going to keep running him out there. It's not the end of the world. But it's frustrating. He has a few months to figure it all out, though. That much is for sure. We got a few more things we'll touch on, but we should probably hear once again from our friends at Foul Territory. So let's do that.
If you're a card collector or you'd like to get into card collecting, may I suggest Arena Club and slab packs, which means that you can rip the packs digitally and, of course, get the card that you want. It's also the most trusted name in the game, and I would rather rip packs these days on my phone than sit next to you and have you grabbing one of my physical packs if I was grabbing one.
Yeah, you don't need me grabbing your packs, because last time you grabbed one, it ended up like this card. So let's not have that, and that's why Arena Club is great. They send them to you in these fancy protectors like this Scout Brown card that we have here, and they'll come safe. They're already graded. Or you could do like I do and just leave my cards in the showroom and never actually see them physically.
Yeah.
But they're safe, protected, and if I want to sell them, I can.
Buy, sell, trade. They offer full transparency, showing every card in the slab pack with the likelihood of pulling each one, so you know exactly what's available before you buy. Get 20% off your first slab pack or card purchase by going to arenaclub.com/FAL and use code FAL.
All right, Alanna, help get us out of here.
Yeah, no, I mean, again, the biggest thing is you come home, right? You get home relatively early because you're on the East Coast right now. So you get home relatively early, and then you have a day off to kind of reset. The bullpen desperately needs a day off. This is a bullpen that has been taxed because we have a lot of starters that can't get deep into the game. I mean, Clayton did his job today. Yamamoto's been decent. Other than that, it's been a little suspect. So get much needed rest that they need, and then get fired up for the Yankee series. I mean, again, it's a milestone series. It's a benchmark series. They're playing really well. They have the biggest lead as far as divisions are concerned. They have a 6.5 game lead right now over the Rays in second place. The Yankees are coming off 4 straight wins. They're at the Angels right now, and they're just coming up the 5 to play the Dodgers. So, just take advantage of the fact that you're home. Take advantage of the fact that, you beat this team in 5 games in the World Series last year, and it could very well be another World Series preview. Who knows? I'm getting ahead of myself, but no need to panic, guys. This is a team that will figure it out. I mean, the Dodgers had fewer hits than the Guardians for pretty much the entire game and then just shit the bed in the late innings. And sometimes that happens, but they did win the series. They split the road trip. I much rather would have come home with a winning road trip, a 4-2 versus a 3-3, but it is what it is. Clint and I are back with you guys normal time tomorrow on Dodgers territory. We will see you at 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. We're going to probably have a beat writer on the show with us tomorrow to kind of assess the first couple months of the season. What's the grade? What do you think? And then we'll break down the Yankee series as well. So don't fret, guys. Don't fret. We will see you tomorrow. Go Dodgers.
Bye.